the citizen comment piece is over. Let me address the motion first. Let me address the motion first.
No one's told me.
There's a motion by JP to table this item.
The only,
Was there a second?
JP
Okay,
Madison, the
there's
only
not-
thing I know right now is,
Who's second?
I'm really tired.
So JP is second.
Okay, I think he removed his shoes, is that right?
Whose order is it?
Okay, so there's motion, all right, so there's not a second.
Mr. Tiffany is my
So then
constituent
let's stay
also,
on the
and I'm
agenda.
really tired of
Item
y'all
nine.
enforcing these rules.
They
Judge Wood has made that
Okay, but
ruling.
you're the sheriff.
Right, yeah.
Why are you following the county judges?
Because it falls under the statute of disorderly conduct.
How does not wearing your shoes become disorderly conduct?
He's made the declaration that he wants people in the courthouse to wear shoes so he's disorderly, he's disrupting
So if you don't
lawfully
wear
called
shoes,
meeting.
it's disorderly conduct.
He's disrupting a lawfully called meeting, and that's the big picture.
This is insane. Y'all are enforcing a political rule, you understand that? This is a political statement against Mr. Tiffany.
It may be, but it's also a state statute that
That you have to
can't,
wear shoes in a
that
building?
that you can't disrupt a lawfully called meeting, and so that's
How is
what we.
Mr. Tiffany just not wearing his shoes disrupting?
We'll need to visit with Judge Wood about that, but as long as he's in
Why
his wheelchair, he's
why
not
is Tim
disrupting.
Helder enforcing this
All right,
rule?
so
Why?
there's a
If he
motion
has
for the-
authority not to.
Approved.
Why is he
Denied.
enforcing it?
Planning board denied.
Because it's a state statute.
It's not a state
Yeah,
statute to
it's-
wear your
it's-
shoes in a building.
Yeah, but it is a state statute to disrupt a lawfully called meeting.
All right, now there's discussion. Any discussion?
I apologize, but that's the law, that's the state law.
not this time.
Why not?
We're
working on
taking making a report.
They're doing like
You
a.
charge him with disorderly conduct?
I've already come up with a warning for disorderly conduct.
First, I would like to say.
And
that-
you're-
Are you charging him with not wearing his shoes?
Responsibility, you guys pointed out.
I'm
That's,
located at 2
I'm actually in disrupting the meeting.
Temple Road in
Once I'm finished with this, he'll be asked to leave. If he
West.
comes back in or refuses to leave, he'll be arrested for trespassing.
Okay.
This is the largest.
You do know that y'all are being sued for kicking him out of a
I'm
meeting.
not sure why the applicants denied it.
Are you for real?
Maybe they
Is it okay if I say something?
I will say.
Am I allowed to? Okay.
Has he been given any Miranda warnings?
Is he being detained?
We're not asking any questions.
Is it, all I wanted to know is, if I can, I just wanted to get my socks and the book.
I will get your socks and your business for you.
Oh, they're all right here, okay, thank you, because I was very quickly taken out, as you saw.
I saw, I got it on film where they
Yeah,
like picked you up practically.
Well,
he was asked to get up and he didn't cooperate, so they
This is
escorted him.
absurd, y'all. You are enforcing a political, you are pulling people out based on the content of their speech. We have had people in there hollering and yelling on the other side of issues, and y'all do nothing. I was virtually threatened at a meeting
I
last
agree
week,
that you
and
need
nobody
to
did anything. You
follow
only
what
remove
you're
the
supposed to
people
do.
who are
But
opposing the
speed
judge.
with which you guys grabbed me.
Jay, really?
We're removing the people who disrupt the lawfully called meeting.
That was disrupting the meeting. Well, then I would invite y'all back
There's
in for the
one
CARES
we
resolution. We'll see how many other people you kick out and give.
I don't think we
So I guess we'll see.
I know that
That's
it's
something
something
I think right now.
it was very fast.
Incredibly
It was very physical.
But for 1 year, our home built.
Although I do need more hugs in my life, so it was almost like a hug. Except you only grabbed my arms.
Nobody wants.
You want a real hug sometimes. You gotta- Well, you were definitely good at hugging me, so.
My husband and I both work
All
from
right.
where we live, but we have chosen location because it.
I guess I'll
we
put my
live
socks back on.
in a
I wore the
family
right socks. You guys didn't even get a chance
area
to see
that is
this.
able to
Are you being
accommodate
detained?
They say I voted.
Nice.
It's actually
That's
from,
disruptive.
but it's really disruptive. It's actually, you know, Among Us, the game, the video game.
Oh,
You always have to vote who was the,
This has been possible for a year now. The first reason is because the proposed RV parking system.
Wait a second, I'd have to look on my, I don't remember right now. It might be dumb, something like Clint, like my first name.
No.
You're fine.
This is not just a park for RVs. It is an RV park for the purpose of trail riding in the national forest. They will be using 1,000
The other thing I would say is it would be a little bit better if you guys weren't constantly removing people who were only on one side of the issue. So like, for example, there were people on the other side who were shouting at
The noise
Richard
level is
to
intolerable
put shoes
sometimes,
on,
as is
and
our
they
right
didn't
for when
receive
anyone
any
brings their friends onto their property. We should not have to be
response from
subjected to
enforcement
this.
about their behavior.
Second,
So,
my husband
in my
and I have
experience so
done
far,
everything-
and I'm not saying that you have a bias, but it seems to me that the bias is to only do
My husband and I
enforcement
have
of
been together
removal
for 13 years.
on
We
one
don't have
set of
children
viewpoint
yet
discrimination
because
and not
we
the
are
other.
trying everything in our power
So
to make
maybe
sure
you
we
might
have a family safe environment for our family.
take that
We
under
previously-
advisement.
Previously lived in Springdale, where we were subjected to
The
gang
woman who was
violence
calling out at Richard had
and
fantastic
just a
boots
lot
on,
of
by the way.
problems,
Did
and
you
so
see
we had
those?
to move.
I was out
We
here.
started
They're
our search
alligator
for
boots.
family safe
They're pretty
area,
cool.
found it.
That's
I researched
disruptive for
everything.
sure.
Amazing.
Thank you very
I
much.
wish I had alligator
Any other
boots.
public comments? Again, you got another number of
Okay,
people
can I
back there.
please just say one more sentence?
More quickly.
The RV park brings strangers, they could be serial killers, sex offenders, they could be anything.
All right,
Okay?
thank you very much. Citizen comments?
Say that again? Well,
Come on.
well, he disrupted a lawfully called meeting, and so, but still, this really conduct, sir, you know that, you've read it. You guys-
Doesn't say anything.
Well, then get it changed, get it changed. Yeah, there's a lot of,
We're not in session yet.
there's a lot of laws that you all don't agree with, get them changed, and we're happy to enforce them.
But you know what, that's the thing that's neat about everyone, you have discretion, you have the ability to not enforce. And
Now, one
discretion.
thing I like is that you guys did not treat me special just because you know who I am. So that's one thing. So that's important, because sometimes that's like
And they
people
didn't
get a
hold
pass
us
just
to
because they
custody,
know
we're a
who I
white
am.
man, so at least-
Nor did you go over the board. I don't think you actually knew who I was.
They wanted your ID.
Did you know did we know each other? You put up the Frisbee? Anyway, you know. So I like it that you would equally treat everybody. But I agree with Sarah on another level, which is you do know me, so therefore you know that there's literally no way in which I was a threat to anybody in that room. And so then the kind of enforcement that just happened is pretty high.
But the statute doesn't talk about a threat. There's another statute that talks about threats.
Yeah, but
The
if
statute
but
talked
if
about
we're gonna go to
shoes.
the statute and interpretation of the statute, there were at least 40 actions before mine that were disruptive that should have been enforced also. At least 40,
And all
maybe
of the
more.
community members stood up when the judge was doing a
I
meeting,
mean,
and none of them.
then we're talking like fascist level shit, like what gets control. I mean, right? Like we
Well,
would have
I was
to-
out here, so I don't, you know. it was,
I mean, they were missing all kinds of stuff in there. So if the goal is to completely shut down any kind of disruption, you weren't doing it until you did it.
You know, it's the judge's meeting, okay?
Yeah.
And he has made a blanket statement that we will wear our shoes in the courthouse, and if we don't, then you're authorized to remove them.
Yeah, sure.
And so here we are,
But you're-
here's where we find
So
ourselves.
what do I got here?
So I think he's,
This is just a warning, it's not a citation, you don't have to go to court, there's no fines or fees or anything like that. It's basically just a piece of paper explaining
I was
that,
actually hoping he would
he was hoping that
go to court. That'd be fun.
well, I mean, you can go to court for whatever you want on the civil side, but here, we're not doing
I
that.
already have a federal civil lawsuit against you.
Okay, well.
So that'll be, this will add to
I'm
that.
sure this will be there when that happens.
Yeah.
But, anyway, this is your warning for disorderly conduct for taking off your shoes during the meeting, walking up, setting them on the desk and walking back, okay?
Okay.
Disrupting the meeting.
Did you record all of that?
Absolutely, I did.
That's what it says, that sentence?
Do what?
Did you say, you wrote, that's what I was written up for?
Well, it doesn't say, I haven't written the report yet, this
Oh,
is just your
but
warning.
you're gonna say that.
It's gonna be in the report.
Because I love that, if that's how you wrote it up, that's really awesome.
Everything
I would
will be
give
in
you
the
100 too,
public
if I could.
Do
But I
what?
won't.
No, I don't like those.
I heard that, so is that like a general thing? No, that's not how it's like.
I put utilities on my truck, it's another public service.
Clint, man, I hate that it's come to this, I really do.
No, I know, you guys, I
Don't
put
blame
you
me,
guys in.
But I absolutely hate that we're having to do this.
Yeah, it's fine.
I wish that it could be more peaceful like this, and everybody do what they need to do, I honestly do.
I know, it would be so much
Unfortunately,
better
this is
if
where
you
we
didn't
are.
make somebody with a disability get into a wheelchair to shame them. And that would make it much more peaceful.
That's not what we're right here at, right now, we're talking about the situation that you did. That's what
Yeah, I know.
All
right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
What are you?
Bye, Clint.
What are you reading, Clint?
Systematic Theology by Wolfhard Pannenberg.
How appropriate.
Now I have more time for that tonight. So you guys have a good night.
He is such a guy.